Yep.
He probably needs to be brought back in, Your Honor.
Okay, I think we'll do that. I think he's through Ionia
You're correct. Yep.
County. Yeah. Okay, we're back on the record on the Matthew Rademacher case. It's D19-01638-SM. We have probation officer Dale Stoner here. Mr. Malou DeBuxia has had a chance just very briefly to talk to you, Mr. Rademacher, about this case. This is what they call a probation violation on the case that originated in our court with a stalking charge against this Amanda person going all the way back to May a year ago. The probation violation is that you tested positive for alcohol, still owe money on the underlying case, and never reported for drug testing on a number of occasions that you were requested to. A probation violation, Mr. Rademacher, can be a pass or fail. You either pass or you fail. In this case, they're talking about 2 or 3 different areas where they claim you failed. You can plead guilty or not guilty. You can make the decision yourself. You have a right to have an attorney if you want to have an attorney to give you advice and counsel. If you couldn't afford an attorney, the court could appoint one for you. If you go forward on your own, it has to be your decision. Any questions that you have for me?
No, ma'am. Well, would I be able to at least explain a few things to you?
Yeah, you can explain things to me once you decide how you want to plead.
Well,
Like on the probation violation, you and I don't really get to talk details about the case until you decide how you're going to plead. If you say you're not guilty of a probation violation, then we really don't talk about it. We just set it up for a hearing. If you say guilty, then you can tell me anything you want about this or whatever, and then I just tell you what the penalty is.
okay.
Sounds
Well,
like you're in custody already on separate matters and you're going to be in custody for a while?
A little while, yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
I'd
So
like to
our
go
case
ahead with
isn't-
my plea and
Yeah. Our case isn't really going to have any effect on what your other business is, though you know that.
yes, ma'am.
Okay. So as to the technical probation violation on this case from stalking, how do you plead?
Guilty, Your Honor.
Okay. So tell me what you were thinking that you wanted to say.
Well, when I was going ahead with all my testing and everything, when
Yeah.
when COVID hit, I talked to Mr. Stoner back in April, and he said that they were no longer doing testing until further notice. And
Yeah.
we had phone interviews prior to that, or since then. He's been kind of difficult to get a hold of. We've played phone tag quite a few times because I had tried to contact on how to pay my fine. Me and my brother actually showed up to the courthouse there back in June to pay the fine, and there was literally nobody there. I didn't receive the letter for the court date today until probably a week prior to my incident that I'm in now. But I just was unaware of having to do the testing. I guess I know that's not probably a very valid excuse.
Okay.
I'm just gonna own up to violating, and I'm not really a drinker. I don't know why I violated for alcohol, as I can ask anybody.
Okay.
But
How long have you been in custody?
31 days today, man.
31 days. Well, the recommendation here is 30 days, so I can just give you, it runs at the same time, so we really call it credit for time served.
Yes.
Your probation in this case will really be terminated. We really look at this as like a technical violation. I mean, I get what you're saying is that you didn't know you were still supposed to be testing, but even if we totally separate the testing out, and that you came out here but couldn't pay the money because our doors weren't open. I mean, we do have a drop box, and we've been trying to tell people about the drop box. We're back open now, but I get that there was a time period that people came out here to try to do business and they couldn't.
Yeah.
I just terminate your probation, and you get 30 days jail credit for time served you've already done, so it overlaps. There's some non-waivable fees, and I don't know how long you expect to be in custody, but the $1,400, it's about another 33 days. It's about another 33 days in custody. If you're in custody for another month, then it would take care of everything but the non-waivable fees, and we can do that. Mr. Stoner, is there anything you can think of that you want to say?
Your Honor, I would just like to note for the court, Mr. Rademacher and I, early on when COVID hit in March, we did talk, playing phone tag, left messages. I left multiple messages as well. The no-shows kicked back in July, where he had been failing to appear for testing, failing to call. I set him for an appointment for July 16th at 3. Called him on the 7th just to check in to make sure of July that he received that. But his mailbox was full on his voice message. I couldn't leave him a message. So I noticed him for 7/16, called, left a message, and then I didn't hear back from him.
So it's been since this July.
Correct.
Yeah.
So at that point, Your Honor, I set him for that violation hearing in August after not hearing for him, received a couple more no-shows, and was notified on September 21st that he was in custody with Ionia County on 2 alleged charges. So.
Okay. So, Mr. Rademacher, you're going to be terminated from your probation on this. 30 days jail with credit for time served. The non-waivable monies would still have to be paid. I think right now there's $1,435, where only about 125 of that is non-waivable. So if you, again, are going to be in custody for a while, you can contact us. I wouldn't have any contact. I would not have any contact with that Amanda Coy. No contact directly or indirectly. Questions that you have for me, Mr. Rademacher?
No, ma'am, I should have.
Okay.
Your Honor, on Mr. Rademacher's behalf, I believe it's been established that he will be in until at least November 4th. So I don't know the court's position on at least giving credit for that.
I guess I want to just find out what, yep, I just want to find out when and if, what time, when he gets out. It's not an automatic credit for the monies. The monies right now technically are due, and that's $1,435. What, $1,365?
With a $30 cost.
Okay, sorry, $1,365. I would just want to have Mr. Rademacher contact our court once he's out of the jail to find out how many days he was in past now.
Yes, ma'am, I can do that.
Okay, yeah.
We'll pay it while I'm in here.
All right, our case, probation's terminated. The probation violations admitted. We move forward. That's it. Thank you to Ionia County for setting us up today by Zoom. We really appreciate it over there, deputies. Thank you, ma'am. You bet.